system, their limbs now, when present, are formed of more than one body segment. Their limbs, the fore or the hind limb, they are formed of more than one body segment. Then in the phylum Chordata or the chordates, you have subphylum. So we'll be looking at the subphylum Vertebrata or the vertebrates. I know you must have heard of vertebrates before, the organisms or animals that have their backbone. Vertebrates are tubulogastic. They have the endoderm, mesoderm, and the ectoderm. They have the true body wall. That's why they are coelomates. They are bilaterally symmetrical. When you divide them into two, you have equal things facing each other. Then they have a well-developed brain. Their brain is seriously developed. Then their brain is enclosed in a cranium, a skeletal case. This is not the brain outside. The brain is inside. But this skull, this skeletal case, this bony case is the one covering the brain, is protecting it. Then they have a locomotory organ called kidney. Their skin sometimes bears scales, feathers, or hair. For vertebrates, they have scales, sometimes hair, sometimes feather. Then they have a closed circulatory system. They have two pairs of limbs, the fore and the hind limb. The limbs that is in front, for most animals, you have them bending. So we say they have four legs, but you have the four limbs, the hands, the ones that are in front, then the hind limbs, the ones that are behind, just like the legs. Then for the subphylum Vertebrata, it is divided also into 5 classes, and we'll be looking at those 5 classes. We have the Pisces, the fishes, the amphibia, the reptilia, the apes, and the mammalia. So those are the 5 classes of the subphylum Vertebrata. The Pisces, they are also known as the fishes. They have a long and flexible tail with powerful muscles propelling the fishes through water when they are swimming. So their tail is a very, very powerful tool that they have for swimming. Fishes or Pisces are cold-blooded aquatic vertebrates. They are cold-blooded. They have a two-chambered heart. Then they have gills and gill cover for respiration. They respire through their gill and the gill cover. They have fins for swimming. They swim through their fins, and their fins also help them to be balanced in water. They have homodont dentition, that is, they have the same kind of teeth all through, the same type. All their teeth are of the same size, type, and shape. Then reproduction in them is external. They reproduce out, it's not internal, like you have in other organisms, it's external. And they are oviparous, that is, they lay their eggs outside and they hatch it outside. So they are oviparous in nature. Example, you have your fishes. Then another class of the subphylum Vertebrata is the amphibia. The amphibia possess naked, soft, moist skin, usually without scales. Then they have the pentadactyl limb, which is in 5 digits. You have their limbs they have five digits of limbs, both the fore and the hind limb. They are also cold-blooded. Then amphibians live partly on land and partly in water. In their reproduction, they are also oviparous, that is, they lay their eggs outside and hatch it there. Then the amphibians have poisonous gland present on their skin for defense. So they have a poisonous gland on their skin for defense. They are more advanced than the Pisces. They have 3 chambered hearts, 2 auricles, and just 1 ventricle you find in the amphibian. Then you have some of them that are herbivorous, while others are carnivorous. That is, some of them feed on grasses, e.g. tadpoles, the young stage of them. Frogs, then their adults are carnivorous. That is, they feed on flesh, e.g. they feed on insects and worms. Examples of the amphibian, you have the frogs, you have the toad, the newts, and the salamanders. Those are examples of amphibians: toad, frog, newts, and salamanders. Another class under the subphylum vertebrata, you have the reptilia, or the reptiles. Their body is covered with dry, honey, waterproof scales. Very dry skin, but it's also waterproof. Then they have long tail, very long tail. They also have homodont dentition, that is, they have the same type of teeth, shape, and function. They have dentition or teeth set that is the same. Then they have jaws with teeth set in a socket. Their jaws have teeth set in a socket. Then they have sticky tongue for catching their prey. They have a tongue that is sticky for pinning down their prey. They are also cold-blooded or poikilothermic animals. But they have 4-chambered hearts that is incompletely developed. The reptiles have 4-chambered hearts that is incompletely developed. Their lungs is for their gaseous exchange, so they respire through the lung. Some of these organisms are aquatic, while others are terrestrial in nature. Their fertilization is internal, unlike the birds and the amphibians. Their fertilization is internal, and their reproduction is, they are ovoviparous in nature. That is, their young ones are hatched out and released from the female body. Not the eggs now, but they are released from their female body. Examples of reptiles or the class Reptilia, you have the lizards, the snakes, the crocodiles, the turtles. Those are examples of the Reptilia. Now the aves. Aves are also called the birds. They are a group of birds. Their body is differentiated into small head, a compact jaw, and a tail. Their skin is covered by feathers, except on their legs, which has honey scales. You find the body of aves covered with feathers, except on their legs, whereby you have honey scales. They also have the pentadactyl limbs, the 5-digit limbs. They are warm-blooded. Birds are warm-blooded. They have 4 limbs that is developed or modified into wings for flying. So their own 4 wings is used for flying, is modified into wings. And respiration in aves is by their lungs and the ear sac. Also, they have large yolky eggs in calcareous shell laid in nests. They lay eggs that is covered by a strong case shell. You have the yolk inside. Then their mouth is modified into beak, used for feeding and killing their prey. They have mouth that is hardened into a beak. It's strong in nature, so they use it for feeding and also for catching their prey. Their fertilization is internal, and they are oviparous in nature. They lay shelled eggs with large yolk. They are oviparous in nature. Examples of eggs, we have the sparrow, pigeon, your kiwi, eagle, woodpeckers, and the like. So those are examples of eggs. Now to the last class, we have the mammalia. The mammalia or the mammals, they have their body covered with hair of 4. Then they have 2 pairs of pentadactyl limbs. So you have the 5 digits, 2 fingers, then 2 legs, they are limbs. Then they have a well-developed brain. They are warm-blooded. Then they are either aquatic or terrestrial. Mammals have 4-chambered hearts that is well-developed with double circulation. Then they have the sweat and the sebaceous gland present in their skin. Their females possess the mammary glands or the breast, which provide milk for feeding their young ones. So that's where they got the name from mammals, or the mammary glands. So they have the mammary glands for feeding their young ones. It's the female that have that. Then they have heterodont dentition. They have 4 types of teeth: the incisors, the canal, the premolars, and the molars. Unlike the other organisms that have the same type, shape of teeth, in mammals you have heterodont dentition, so different shape and sizes: the incisors, the canal, the premolars, and the molars. Reproduction in mammals is viviparous, that is, the young one develops inside the female body and is giving birth to a life. The young one develops in the female body, gets fed and nurtured by the female body, and is giving birth to a life. They have their reproductory organs to be their lungs. Then they have eyes with movable lids, movable eyelids. Example of mammalia, we have man, you. Then you have the rats, the cows, the goats, and sheep. So you have now to our questions. I want you to lay your hands on this question and see how far you have come. And if you feel that you don't get any of these questions, you don't get any of the answers right, just refer back to the notes. Number 1, the cilia in paramecium is used for dash. What is the cilia used for? A. Respiration, B. Locomotion, C. Protection, D. Regulating food intake, and E. Excretion. What is the cilia in paramecium used for? Number 2, Iglina may be classified as a plant because of what? Because it has chloroplast, because it has a gullet, because it